This is Flint Board of Education. Wait, do I? No, not yet. Okay, probably ain't gonna get one.
Damn, one coming in. One, two, three. That'll be four. And it's just the regular when y'all do the approval minutes and all that. So we doing this one first. If you just follow your script, you do it. Maybe Pastor Gilbert should move down one.
I don't think
No. Nope. When I talked to the superintendent, he wanted that on the car.
I don't think so.
Plus, he ain't here, so we couldn't do it nowhere.
Is this someone's seat? Is this one of the
No,
members?
no. But Pastor, I was thinking.
I think she's up first if she wanted to sit.
Yeah, you go, yeah.
But I figured they might have public comment, so I didn't want to.
That have nothing to do with it.
Is that the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like it right here. So if they coming from it, they ain't got far to go. I can meet them halfway. I'm just teasing. I'm just having fun.
What?
I'd be very surprised if Linda don't show up. She didn't say she wasn't coming. All of them said they come. Well, she here, so when she step back in the room, upstairs. So Miss Boo's on her way. She said she forgot we had 5:30.
We'd like to call the Flint Board of Education Board Call meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, September 21st. The time is now 5:44. Good evening. I would like to call the Board of Education Committee of Home meeting to order. 5:44. Board members, as I call your name, please reply present for the record. Mr. Delmore.
Present.
Trustee Gilbert.
Present.
Trustee McIntyre is absent. Secretary Booz is absent. Joyce McNeil. And myself, Carol McIntosh, we have four. We have a quorum. Absent is McIntyre and Booz. At this time, I'd like to set some ground rules for our meeting. We will stick to the agenda items. We will give each speaker 2 minutes, 2 rounds to speak to each agenda item. We will save on motions and activity that is not on the agenda for the board comments at the end, so we can move the agenda forward and take care of our district business. At this time, we will have a legal opinion and updates from Attorney Lee. Please come to the stage, Attorney Lee. Just a moment, Ms. Lee, we lost our quorum suddenly.
Point of information, President, can you, if you would you pull your mask down and repeat that, please?
We don't want to proceed with the meeting and we don't have 4 board members here. We only have 3, which kills the quorum. So we're going to wait till our 4th board member, I guess, returns, and we're expecting another board member to show up.
Thank you.
Board members, this is why we're here. By raise of hands, how many believe that if a teacher didn't show up, or a parent didn't show up, or an employee didn't show up, they would be fired or reprimanded? Their seat continues.
I want this audience to know there's an emergency going on with me. I know you don't care.
Oh, we do.
Well, so if I'm not in this seat, has nothing to do with your presence here.
Proceed, Ms. Lee.
Good evening, Board. As of this September,
Madam President, number one, I think you should recall the Flint Community School Board back to order and do the roll call because we've had members come in that wasn't present at the beginning. Make this official, and we'll proceed from there. Excuse me, Attorney.
Board members, as I call your name, please reply present for the record. Chris Delarose.
Present.
Pastor Gilbert. Present. Laura McIntyre. Present. Brenda Booth is absent. Joyce McNeil.
Present.
And myself, Carol McIntosh. Board members absent. Secretary Booth. You may proceed, Ms. Lee.
good evening, Board. Today, I'm here to give you an update over the past year. I've been counsel for this district since August also a reflection on the time prior to myself and the differences, as well as address some concerns that have been brought to my attention.
Point of information. Point of order.
It is when somebody is violating.
Well, it's not a point of information, if that's okay.
It's a quick question, yes.
Yeah, it's a question. The question is based on what the attorney is getting ready to talk about. And according to my opinion, what she's talking about should be handled in governance. Is it okay to be in governance? Could we move it to governance?
No, it is, point of information is a quick question to the speaker. It is not to change the agenda, and she's going to speak. Because
Point of information.
excuse me,
What is the agenda for her to speak?
it's an update. It's on there, it says update. Please let her speak. Thank you, Ms. B.
Okay. So for the year from August 2021 until, September 2021 until August of 2022, my firm has been paid by this Board of Education a total of $57,967.27. That is all payment that has been remitted to my firm. For the prior year and prior board council between July 1st, 2020 and June 30th, 2021, the total remitted to that firm was $429,932.41. $429,932.41. And for the benefit of the public to see what I'm speaking about, I have a copy for the board and also for the public if they'd like to look.
Yes.
Point of order.
Yes.
This is,
It's no, it's not. No, it's
point
not.
of order, this is supposed to be taken care of in governance.
No,
This
it's-
was added
excuse
last
me,
minute to the agenda.
Excuse me, it was not added, it's on the agenda, it is legal.
Discuss with the board as a whole. This is a board related business.
Excuse me, we're not gonna do this, she is on the agenda, and she's gonna disperse this information, because the public has a right to know.
Do it,
Hold on,
point of order,
hold
in
on.
governance.
No, a point of order is when somebody is breaking the law, and she is not. Now, if you want to leave, because you can't have one, that is your choice.
Point of information, we should.
It's a quick question.
Quick
It's a
question,
quick
why
question.
this is not in governance?
Because the president and the superintendent get to set the agenda the same way you did when you were president. And I want to hear from the board's legal attorney. So I put her on the agenda, and I do have the authority to do that, because I want to hear from her.
Point of order.
You out of order. And please stop. Please, you out of order. You out of
Agenda
order.
should be discussed among, this type of agenda should be discussed with the board.
That's not policy or bylaw. So we don't have to do it.
Not this agenda, which is an issue with this attorney that
You have the opportunity, hey, I'm not gonna argue with you. Now, yes,
Point of order.
point of order is when somebody's in violation. Nobody's in violation. We have a right to order. Go, stop being rude. See, when Ms. Green is trying to talk to you in the chair, you want her to respect you. Now, I'm asking you to make order.
Point of order. Point of order, I'm making a point of order.
And you are out of line. Because one, I haven't recognized you. That's number one. And number two, a point of order means something is out of order.
Point of order, I'm asking to be recognized.
That's not a point of order to be recognized, but you can be recognized. And I said, when the speaker gets done speaking, you can be recognized, you can have 2 minutes, you get 2 rounds, but what you're not going to do, you're going to get
Point of order, are you going to recognize it or not? Are you
No.
going to follow the bylaws?
I'm following the law.
Madam President,
This isn't how meetings are run.
Madam President,
I'm I'm done speaking to Ms. Lee, I'll recognize you. Wait. Ms. Lee, did you pass me the information you just said?
Point of order. I would like to make a motion. Point of order.
Is this it?
Point of information.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Mr. Gentleman,
I don't believe we can make a motion off of the point of order.
No, we
all
can't.
of it. All of it.
You also can't deny a point of order, Chris.
If you have a legitimate point of order, but you don't.
But you know you haven't acknowledged it. You're out of order.
I asked you what was the violation.
I asked to be recognized so I could give you the violation.
If I'm saying give you the violation, that's being recognized. And this is what I'm not
I'm
going to
being
do.
recognized for a point of order.
Proceed, Ms. Lee.
A point of order,
Proceed, Ms. Lee.
I'm asking to be recognized for.
And I recognize you, you didn't take the opportunity, so we're moving on with business.
Madam President.
Point of order, Madam President.
Pastor Gilbert, what is your point of order?
First of all, the point of order is a privilege motion.
It is, and I acknowledge that.
Madam President, can I finish, please? That's the problem. We need to hear our neighbors out. We may not like what they do. We may not agree with them. But it's procedurally right. You must rule on a point of order. You
I
have
think issues a point of, wait a minute, no, Pastor Gilbert, a point of order. Meaning, she's supposed to be pointing out something,
correct.
and she's not doing that.
Well,
And we don't want to stay here 5 hours while she make up
we're
the
not,
point.
we're not,
Thank you.
we're not gonna stay here.
I will recognize,
But, point of order, I just like to say this. She is a board member. She has the right to say what it is that she feels in her position about this speaker or pertaining to this speaker. So you have to give her that latitude as the chair. And that's all I'm saying.
I don't have a problem with that. But Pastor, I gave the rules. We will let the speaker speak, and when she's done speaking, if they have questions, and that's what we're going to do. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But did you ever recognize her point?
I did. And she kept right on with this back and forth mess that I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that with her. I recognize her. And now I'm going to recognize Ms. Lee.
Point of information. My point that I'm trying to stress is that Sharice need to come before the government. Listen.
A point of information is a question.
It is, a point of information is let me finish till we get to the question. Due to the fact there was unaddressed issue regarding this attorney, that she need to come before the board.
Point of order, Madam President.
And I just like to make a motion.
Point of order. Point of information is a quick inquiry.
The quick inquiry.
But if I don't let you grab the meeting, then somebody else will grab it.
Point of order, I'm trying to say, if we go back to the bylaws, as it talks about, the agenda, we all know that this issue here that was before us has issues that need to come before the government. And it's very disrespectful for you to bring this person here when we have unresolved issues that need to be handled as governments, and allowing this person and there's unresolved issue. Only thing I would like to make.
This is not a point of order, this is not a point of information. You can't, I told you motions will be held to the end. I said that, she was sitting here. She's gonna speak, she's on the agenda, she's the board attorney, she has the right, and when you were the president, we were asking to hear from her, and you blocked her. So today is her day. Proceed, motion, that's, they love you that much. That's for the kids. That's why I want you to see that, because I see growth in the It is, but I am going to say this.
Oh, yes, you have.
Because this board takes a lot of slack. We are trying to move this forward. When you don't want to move the business forward.
Trust.
Well, I just want to say something to the one.
But the key here is that even though we cannot do any business, because that's illegal to do under the Open Meetings Act, because we haven't met the threshold of the forum, we can listen to the public.
We can.
We can.
And we will take, and I'm always.
That's what you do.
Public stuff right there, we don't waste your time. Even though we have to waste our time, I respect you enough to accept a
It won't
package.
be put in public record if we open it up to public comment.
Well, it's not on the agenda, but I'm gonna open it up to public comment because you provided me. So I'm gonna call your name
It's
out.
gonna get put in the minutes.
Well, no, it can't go on the minutes because it's not official. Look, you can't have it each way. I can't control them, sir.
Yes, we can.
Well, go get them then and let them see. Since you can't, go get it.
This is a
Corner.
circus. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Point of information.
Come on now. You are holding this district hostage. You're holding this public hostage.
Excuse me, sir, you out of order. Now you out of order, sir. Please stop. No, hey, listen. We're trying to bring them back. If you were down down, we're trying to bring them back.
But when I get up and go outside, I got something to tell you. I got something to tell you. So we can go outside.
No, Gil. Hey, Sharice. Sharice can still talk, man. Sharice can still talk.
But you can't talk over there.
No, y'all just can't take action.
It's up to her.
Y'all just can't take action, man. Y'all can still.
Excuse me, Ms. Lee. Go ahead and speak. We're not taking action. This is good.
Hey, as long as y'all not taking action, y'all.
Excuse me. Proceed.
See, the problem with this is not going into the minutes.
We
We have no record.
That is true.
We have no video.
Well, if you want to video it and have no record, then you can. I don't think that's a violation, I'm not sure. This is kind of on the fly. Okay. Stephen, can you report this? All right, let me see. And present now, a roll call vote is Ms. Linda. Okay, so we're going to start roll call vote again because we have a quorum. Board members, as I call your name, please say present for the record. Mr. Delarose.
Present.
Trustee Gilbert.
Present.
Trustee McIntyre is absent. Secretary Williams. Is present. Trustee McNeil is gone. And I am present. Board members absent is Trustee McNeil and Trustee McIntyre. Ms. Lee, please proceed.
Thank you. So, my purpose of coming before you today is just to give an update. I've been board counsel for a year, and I wanted you to see the look over from this past year where I've been in counsel and the legal expenditures from my firm and the previous legal expenditures prior to myself. As I've given you the look already for the benefit of Ms. Booth since she wasn't here. Sorry, let me get the numbers for you. For the prior June school year 2020-2021, legal fees for the prior firm that was your board counsel was $429,932.41. For the past year that I've been your counsel, from September to 21 to August of 22, the total in fees have been $57,967.27. I passed out a breakdown for you for the prior fees, and the last thing I wanted to do was to address the concern by Ms. McIntyre. She's no longer here. And I promised the member of the public one. I forgot. I don't know what he went. Did he leave it? Okay.
Ms. Pamela Disperso. Can you?
It was just one.
Oh, is it? Okay, sure. Okay, Steve, can you talk to us? Okay, post that.
Yeah, one, so we're gonna just post.
You can post it up here if you like. If you can get it up there.
I'm just gonna wait till he puts it up there. Yeah.
Stephen, are you having issues with it?
I had to email to myself so I could get it on this computer. I'm on it.
Can you start speaking this way while he's getting it?
Sure. Oh, okay, good. It's a little hard to see, but.
Order, please. Okay,
Thank you. Yeah, zoom in some more, thank you. Okay. What I wanted that, the highlighted, well, yeah, that's fine. So I wanted to discuss with you all, previously we had some billing questions regarding March 23rd, 22, in which there was a statement made by Trustee McIntyre that there was a 4-hour billing for speaking to her. As you can see on March 23rd, 22, there is no mention of Trustee McIntyre. In fact, what is billed there is step-by-step what I took to handle your emergency that you had for that particular day. I also had a meeting with the superintendent and his team. I also drafted several documents in order to assist you with that particular day. And I also attended a several hour-long meeting with you all that day. As you can see, the charges do not reflect the time that I spent with you that particular day. I think that moving forward, that if we're making commentary and we're making action statements that have been stated several times in several board meetings, that I billed 4 hours for speaking to her, when as you can clearly see, there is not any time billed for speaking to her other than speaking with the entire board. I think at some point, we need to acknowledge what is the truth, and we need to move forward. Accordingly, in the past year, we have paid $0 out in litigation fees when it comes to paying settlements. And so, over the past year, I have tried tremendously to make sure that the billing that you receive for counsel is well within what you need and not what is just excessive billing, right? And so, as you can see, there's the difference between almost 60 grand and $439,000 is a true savings of over $350,000. So I will continue doing my job for this district and supporting you however I can. With that, I'll take any questions so you may move on with your meeting.
Is there questions for Ms. Lee? Mr. Devon?
Has any payment been made to board member McIntosh?
No, I don't.
For legal charges?
No.
I'm sorry, not McIntyre.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you mean for the legal fees of Lord McIntyre? Like,
Yes.
oh, I don't. So her legal fees, that was separate from my firm. So the payment would have come from the district. So I'm not sure whether they paid that or not. But that actually wouldn't have come from. It wouldn't have been district litigation. So what I'm talking about, there's been no payments of like district litigation as in someone suing us and then we're making settlements with them.
Okay. And I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but those payments, when, if they've been made, are they proper?
So this board can make the decision to make those payments. At the time that we had a different president, I wasn't asked about my opinion for it, but I would have made the opinion to this board not to get involved, as I did when this first started, that we should keep about the business of the district and focus on the children, and anything that is, squabbles between board members, they need to work out amongst themselves. But no, I would not have recommended that, but it is not illegal to do so.
Thank you, Pastor Gordon.
My question is, on this particular day, the 23rd, I see where you did not you traveled to the station, the police station, but there's no charge.
No, so once we left the meeting, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And thank you. And the other thing is, there is no record here that you not only did not communicate with, or if you did, you didn't charge any of the board members for your communication. Am I understanding that right? So, because I'm a little, because I remember where you were when you came and how long you stayed, and the legal advice that you gave each one of us that was present. And during that time, that is on this copy, this sheet, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that's what I want the public to be able to understand, that you were acting as our legal counsel.
Yes.
And that's what the charge has to do on that particular day.
That's correct.
And so That's the thing, and I don't see anything here that says that you talked to any of us and charged the district during that day. You talked to us as a group in the administration building. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so I just want the public to know that is what you did because you were our legal counsel. Have you talked to Gilbert since that time over the telephone?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Thank you. I want the public to know that.
Yes.
And because you gave us advice, just what you just said, to leave it, let the process work itself out, tend to the district of the business. You said it 3 times that day to all of us. And you're saying it twice here tonight for the public. And that's the only points that I want the public to know, that you acted as our legal counsel and we adhere to what you said. So that's all that I have to say.
Are there any other board meeting members, Ms. Booth? No?
No, I have no comments at this
Okay,
time.
I'd like to also say, Ms. Lee has never represented me personally. I have never given Ms. Lee any money. Ms. Lee has never given me any money. That's all. Is that it, Ms. Lee?
It is. Unfortunately, I wanted to address this with Trustee McIntyre because it was her commentary, but I don't have any plans to, unless the board requests me to do so, to come and defend claims regarding claims about my firm or things like that.
Yeah.
I've personally been receiving emails and text messages about board members stating that I've stolen money from the district or I've done things that are improper, which I've come before you several times to try to address those matters. And it's unfortunate that when I've done so, I've either not really been able to speak or those members have not been present. I don't think that we need to belabor the issue. I just don't want people to think that I'm not willing to come before the board and discuss fees or discuss anything that has to do with the business of the district. But in my mind, I won't be taking up any more of the board's time to discuss this matter. Thank you.
And I will not be calling you back to discuss this because Ms. Lee came before us twice to answer to any charges, claims, complaints, and nothing. So we, as a board, voted to leave that matter alone and to stay neutral. That didn't get to happen. I'm hoping we can move forward so we can do the work for who we are here for, the kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. I now turn the floor over to Trustee Gilbert for the Human Resource Committee of the whole meeting.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to call the Human Resource Committee of the whole to order. I will now call upon Assistant Superintendent Kiana Murphy to present action to the board.
Good evening, board. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 1.9, personnel recommendations, to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, is there any discussion?
Yes, where are we at in the agenda?
We're in human resources. Did we skip new business?
Okay.
Action items. No, that's action items and information.
Which can be found in the regular board
Yes,
packet.
yes, the regular board meeting. You should have one vice president down the road separate. It should be like this. You should have one sheet.
Yeah, so I was trying to go to
This sheet.
the section, but it's only one page.
Yes, right, correct. So all minds are clear.
Yeah, I'm good.
Seeing no further discussion, the motion to approve Resolution 1.9 personnel recommendations will be conducted by roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve the action. Vice President Del Maloney,
Yes.
Secretary Bruce,
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre,
No.
Trustee McNeil,
Oh, no, we need to, no.
so your vote is a no. President McIntosh,
Yes.
yours truly, Trustee Gilbert is a yes.
Did you ask me to vote?
Pardon?
Point of order, I caught up, I want to rescind that vote that I just said, it's not too late, is it?
You said you want to rescind it?
Yeah,
Oh,
take
okay,
that.
all right.
It's not too late, because we're still in the voting process, right?
Right, that's
So we're
correct.
doing 1.9.
And your rescind is to a yes from a no to a yes, is that correct?
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah,
Okay.
I remember that, yeah,
So
sorry.
let the record note that Trustee McNeil rescinded her motion from a no to a yes. Motion passes, 5 yes and 1 no. Seeing no further business, I declare the Human Resource Committee of the Whole meeting adjourned. I now turn the floor over to President McIntosh for Finance and Operations Committee of the Whole portion of the agenda.
Time of adjournment, Pastor Gilbert, for your portion is, time of adjournment, she said for your portion is 6:31.
Which action, what action you talking about? I didn't adjourn the meeting?
Your portion, I guess.
Oh, the time, I'm sorry, thank you. 6:28, time of adjournment. The meeting is adjourned at 6:28, 6:29.
At this,
Now turn the floor over to President McIntosh.
at this time, I'd like to start the board count meeting, finance and operations for September 21st. I would like to call the Finance and Operations Committee of a Whole meeting to order. I will now call upon Assistant Superintendent Kiana Murphy to present action items to the board.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 11.11, authorization to approve agreement with GCJ Construction LLC to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Support.
It has been moved and properly supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is no discussion, a roll call vote will be taken to move this forward. As I, go ahead, Ms. Mayor.
If we moving this forward, have any committee, subcommittee was formed to discuss these items and look at them before we move them and approve them? Are we just approving them without any? Because we had done finance and operation. So did we have any finance or subcommittee discussing this?
To my knowledge, there's not currently three board meeting members seated on the Finance and Operations Committee to have that discussion in a subcommittee.
Was this not the work that we voted on for the one group though?
This is work to address the parking lots.
Oh, okay.
For
Yeah.
specific buildings, to try to put a stopgap measure in some of the drain holes that we have. That's what this work is. So this has not been discussed in subcommittee because there is not a
Yeah,
subcommittee.
but thank you, because we did discuss it and had a long, we did. Okay, thank you very much.
Is there any other questions or concerns?
Yes.
Chris Delano?
Those drain holes, manholes, they are on our property, but are they our responsibility or the city's responsibility?
Those are our responsibility. We've had that conversation with the city as well to explore, to see where our property responsibility ends and where theirs begin, and those that are sitting directly in our parking lots. This one specifically is to address the issue at Nethercutt. That is our responsibility.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further questions? At this time, I'll take a roll call vote. As I call your name, signify by saying yes to accept or no, not to accept. Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Chris Delarose?
Yes.
Laura McIntyre?
Yes.
Linda Booth?
Yes.
Joyce Ellison?
Yes,
And it is myself, yes. The motion passes 6 yes, no opposed, no opposition. Ms. Murphy, continue.
Thank you. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 11.12, approval to open new account with MyFlac to the regular meeting tonight for adoption.
Support. Support.
Second. Oh, no.
Point of order, we gotta get it right now.
Right, go ahead. The motion was made.
So moved.
Is there any second? Who was the second? So moved, he's the second and you made the, okay. So it has been moved and properly supported as I call your name.
Any discussion?
we had a discussion.
Okay, we're on discussion. Ms. Ellis.
Assistant Superintendent Keon, can you just, refresh our remember about that? I know we had a discussion about that MILAL, just a little quick reminder.
Absolutely. So, this is a recommendation from Dr. Wolf coming from their department. Right now, we are in the process of supplanting funds, and what she doesn't want is for, as projects are being approved by the board, but not paid out, for those resources to sit in a non-interest earning account. So this is an interest earning account, so that as we are still making decisions and finalizing plans for projects, that we can earn some interest on the money that we're supplanting currently.
Okay, thank you.
Question.
Chris Delano?
So will this do away with the non-interest account?
No.
Why do we have a non-interest account?
We have to manage the day-to-day expenditures of the district, and so it would take us 24 hours to put in a request to withdraw from a fund like this. So we need to be able to, process payroll. We don't need to have accounts that we need to put in requests, and we can't access those funds immediately.
So what does this do for us to go to the interest rate account? I mean, we're taking some excess funds from the one account to the other to collect interest?
Correct. So for instance, I'll use Door Rider as an example. We have estimates on how much that project is going to cost in total. And we're supplanting funds right now in order to be able to pay for that project. But we don't need that amount of money to sit in a non-interest bearing account while we're finalizing those plans. So it wouldn't be a transfer of all of your funds. It would just be identified funds for specific projects that we know, even for instance, like the parking lots. If we know we can't pay for that and do that work until the spring, but we've supplanted funds and identified funds to pay for that project, then we will move those funds to an interest earning account until we're ready to do the expenditures connected to that project.
So did you just tell us that the work on the parking lots will not be started or begun until spring?
So that was a previous action item that came to the board. I believe the last board meeting that was presented and shared with the board that was the intent. That we had to go through the process of working with the architect to put up the RFP, to review bids, to prepare to do the work in the spring. So So that was communicated to the board at the last meeting.
Okay, Trustee McIntyre?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think in theory, this is like sound practice. However, I'm very concerned that we are operating a subcommittee, a finance subcommittee meeting of the whole, without a treasurer, talking about transferring large sums in order to have more immediate access to them within 24 hours. We don't have a treasurer. And already there are questions about improprieties of having checks issued, POs, and issued without following the bylaws. I'm not saying that anyone is acting improper, but we do need to follow the bylaws. We do need a treasurer. We do need to have a finance subcommittee meeting, and we do need to follow the bylaws. So the treasurer, one of the duties of the treasurer is to co-sign the checks. If you have funds that are going for payroll, I mean, that's great in theory, but there's no checks and balances. There's no oversight at this point. And for a district that was just recently removed from the EDEP, I find that highly troubling and alarming. I don't want to have any reason to put us back on an EDEP. I don't want us to be violating our bylaws and our policies. I guess that's all I have to say about it. I'm kind of at a loss as to why the board is not following policy and fulfilling the role of the treasurer.
Is there any other members?
Board member Laura, as far as co-signing the checks, so someone from the board signs it and someone from the administration. Very good, thank you.
The board member actually signs the registry with all the documented expenditures from the district on it. You don't sign one check, and you're supposed to look it all over. And I have no problem with getting with Ms. Murphy and doing that. However we decide to move forward with this, and we can put a subcommittee together. That's not a big deal. We're the board. Just like we put other subcommittees together, we can put that together. Any further discussion? Okay, we have a 2-minute 2-round to each item, so I just want to
point of information. Point of information.
Yes.
So I'm just to be clear, you just said that you are going to be the board signer and in lieu of a treasurer.
I'm going to talk to Ms. Murphy, and yes, I absolutely can step in and help out in that capacity if we don't have anybody. But I actually wanted to nominate somebody, but you weren't here. We're going to save all of that for the end, and we're going to deal with this agenda. Now, if you want to vote no, or however the pleasure, whatever the pleasure of the board is, I'm fine with that, but we're dealing with the issues on the agenda. Are there any other discussions? At this time, we'll take Pastor Gilbert.
I would only say, Madam President, that it's critical that we do have a treasurer and that we move forward with the business of the district. We don't allow ourselves to be paralyzed so that we can, as my late grandmother would say, cross the T's and dot the I's. I certainly agree with Trustee McIntyre that we need checks and balances. That's been a sore place for this district for about 40 years. So we certainly don't want to continue down that road to where people are not held responsible and accountable for spending taxpayers' dollars.
Absolutely.
And I think that's critical, irregardless of how we feel.
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre is 100% correct.
Yes, and I have, like I said, we can discuss it. I have no problem with stepping in until we get that role filled, or making a motion or an appointment, which is within my wheelhouse. Personally, it's the policy and bylaws, but I don't want to go down that road. So at this time, we will be taking a will call vote. Yes if you're for it, no if you're not. As I call your name, Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Chris Delmar?
Yes.
Laura McIntyre?
We shouldn't be taking any financial decision to this point. No.
Linda Booth,
Yes.
Joyce Ellis McNeil.
Are we moving everything for, I just want to get clarity.
You can do that.
We'll, and get it for the record.
Yes, go
You
ahead.
guys are saying it's illegal to move stuff forward without a treasurer. Is this what we're saying?
If somebody looks over the documents and does the work, then yes, the title is just a formality. It's
So
the-
has everybody looked over these documents? Have we looked over these documents?
Ms. Murphy can forward them to us before those signatures are taken. It's about somebody signing. We don't have to sign until Ms. Murphy is giving us all the details, but they're in our. It's in the packet right here.
Yeah, I see it in the package, but I'm like trustee Giver said.
I don't have a problem with it.
And you-
Point of order, we can't hear. So, okay, so,
Let me,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Assistant Superintendent Kiana, how urgent is this if we kind of postpone until we have a special meeting? We was trying to get a treasurer, and if the board could put it aside, they did a difference. And let's see, can we get a treasurer? And so we don't have to hinder and move forward. So how crucial, I know that parking lot, the first one, was very important in my concern, because I remember it. And I know, so how crucial, what's the timing on this?
All the agenda items are germane to how we serve scholars every day. So I just want, the board, everybody to know that. We're bringing agenda items because this is the work of the scholars and we need to try to move forward. This is not an emergency. This is a way for us to be wise about the resources that we currently have as we manage project completion. And so that's what this is. This is not us meeting a deadline, there's no pressure connected to this. This is Dr. Wolf's recommendation as our CFO on how we can actually earn some money, some interest on resources that we currently have in the district. So I just want to, I don't want to sensationalize anything, but all of this work is how we continue to serve scholars every day, so.
It's a yes for me when I look at, we at 11, 12, are we doing a one by one, Madam President? Or could we just group them all? Okay, so I just want to count, that's a yes for me.
And it's a yes for myself, so the motion passes 5 yes. I'm sorry, and did you oppose, Ms. McIntyre?
What was that?
She did oppose. Okay, and one opposition for Ms. McIntyre. Okay. I seek a motion, go ahead, Ms. Murphy, I'm sorry.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 11.13, authorization to purchase new curriculum to the regular meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Second. Is there any discussion concerning this agenda item? Mr. Del Moroni?
When will this be implemented?
So the intent of the curriculum team is not to impose a new curriculum without proper professional development. So this is sometimes we use the phases crawl, walk, run. So as soon as we're able to authorize this purchase, send a purchase order to the company and begin to receive the materials in the district, they will need to be categorized in our management system, and then we'll begin to slowly introduce the curriculums to the teachers, hopefully by the beginning of the fall of the new year. So, Ms. Kaliman, is that correct? Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm speaking correctly. So this is, and just as a reminder to the board, 20% of our ESSER free funds must go to addressing learning loss. So this was a great opportunity for us to really look critically at our curriculums. Many of our teachers have been participating and coming in the review process for curriculums. So this is a great opportunity to show the community that we're using the funds the way they were intended and purposed to be used.
Thank you so much. Pastor Gilbert?
So, Assistant Superintendent Murphy, It is to empower the teachers and instructors
Use your mic, please.
Thank you. That we will empower the teachers and instructors to empower our children. It's listed to better able them that they're capable of staying on top of whatever is the latest and greatest out there, that they're keeping up with their development as professional teachers. Is that right?
This is curriculum, this is what we teach the scholars, right?
Right.
So this is specifically for mathematics and science.
Oh, yes.
These are new curriculum adoptions.
Thank you.
Awesome. Are there any other discussions from the board members? Mr. Gilmore?
So what are some of the significant changes to this curriculum versus the current curriculum?
Ms. Clement, are you able to address that question?
Point of information, Madam Chair, Madam President.
Yes.
If Ms. Clinton, if she wouldn't mind.
Ms. Clinton, would you please step up to the...
Thank you, so the public can hear.
Over here, Ms. Clinton. Over here. Okay, so up here where the public can see that.
Okay, so what? Can you hear me? Okay. So what exactly, just for clarification?
Sure, a couple examples. Throughout the country, we hear about gender neutral being introduced into the classrooms, critical race theory being introduced in the classroom. So help me out.
So this is math and science?
Math and science.
Yes. This is math and science. Yes, sir. Yes.
2 plus 2 equals 4. That's
Yes, we're aligning it, we're getting new science curriculum that also aligns with the new generation science standards so that our scholars can be more competitive and help increase our science scores.
Okay, I didn't know it was for.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just 1 second, Ms. Clinton.
Ms. Clinton, do any of our professional teachers, do they instruct our students on critical race theory?
No.
Thank you.
All right.
Are there any other questions for Ms. Clinton? Ms. Booth? Or please? No, you sure? All right, that's okay, Ms. Clinton.
All right, thank you.
Is there any further discussion as it pertains to this agenda item? Seeing there are none, when I call your name, you will go by roll call vote, signify by saying yes to accept this or no to not accept. Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. John Rowland?
Yes.
Ms. Laura McIntyre?
Yes.
Ms. Linda Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Ellis McNeil?
Yes.
And it is a yes for myself. The motion passes 6 yes and none opposed.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 11.14, authorization to approve agreement with Santec Architectural Company Incorporated to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Support.
It has been moved and properly supported. Is there any discussion as it pertains to this agenda item?
So
Mr. Devereux?
we just went through something about the parking lots earlier in the agenda. What? How does this differ?
That was specifically to address one school's parking lot, the sinkhole in that. So this is an architectural firm and the work that they are doing, with the projects that we're working on with the parking lots, overall, with the right, this is that architectural firm. So this is completely separate.
Very good, thank you.
Are there any other concerns or discussions pertaining to this agenda item? Seeing there is none, when I call your name, we're going to take a roll call vote. Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Rowland?
Yes.
Ms. Laura McIntyre?
Yes.
Ms. Linda Booth?
Yes.
And Ms. Joyce Ellis McNeil?
Yes.
And it is a yes for myself, Carol McIntosh, and that motion passes 6 yes, none opposed. Thank you, Ms. Murphy. I will turn floor over to Secretary Booth for the academic, and seeing no further business, I declare the Finance and Operations Committee of a whole adjourned, and the time is now 6:53. And I will now turn the floor over to Secretary Booth for the Academic Committee of a whole portion of the agenda.
Okay, good afternoon. I would like to call the Academic Committee of the whole meeting to order. I will now call upon Assistant Superintendent Kiana Murphy to present actions to the board.
Thank you, Ms. Booth. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.8, recognition of Constitution Day and Hispanic Heritage Month, to the regular board meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Booth. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll get it right. It has been properly moved in second. Is there any discussion? Okay. Seeing there is no further discussion, the motion to move resolution number 25.8. When I call your name, please say yea or nay. Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Vice President Del Marone?
Yay.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yay.
President McIntosh?
Yes.
Trustee McNeil?
Yes.
And for me, it's a yes. So it'll be 6 yes and 0 no.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Linda Booth. Yes. There will be 6 yes, 0 no.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.9, authorization to purchase approved items from the consolidated application, to the regular meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it has been properly moved in second. Is there any discussion? No discussion? See, there's no further discussion. Okay, I'm sorry.
So this is for $13 million. What specifically is this to? Where I come from, $13 million is still.
So this is our consolidated application, which includes our Title I, Title II, and Title IV grants that we receive, the federal funds that we receive, to address the learning loss that exists, or the gap that exists for the scholars that we serve that are considered eligible for free and reduced lunch. So any supplemental educational, if it's field trips, supplies, resources, instructors that would provide supplemental reading intervention, math intervention, that's what these grants represent. Professional learning for teachers, and additional resources for scholars that are involved in STEM, if it's AP classes, that's what these consolidation of an application is for. All of the title funds that we receive from the federal government.
Very good, thank you.
Any other questions? Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, the motion to move resolution 25.9, authorization to purchase approved item from the consolidated application. When I call your name, please say yes or no. Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Vice President Del Marone?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
President McIntosh?
Yes.
Trustee McNeil?
Yes.
And myself, yes. That's 6 yes and 0 no.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.10, authorization to purchase approved items from the ASN REACH grant, to the regular meeting tonight for adoption.
Support.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Is there any discussions?
Yes.
Okay. Carrie.
Can we get some information, Ms. Kiana?
Absolutely. So this is a grant that's specific to Accelerated Learning Academy, and it creates, what it is a fellowship of teachers there for them to receive additional professional development around the arts and how the they can infuse the arts in core subjects, as well as look at opportunities to address social justice with scholars as well. So there's no cost to the district with this. It's a grant that Ms. Field and her team kind of pursued. They're intentional about including arts in their instruction here. And so this is something that will support the teacher's professional learning around that subject.
Well, kudos to them.
Any other discussion? Seeing no further discussion, a motion to move resolution 2010 authorization to purchase approved item from the ASN REACH grant to the regular meeting for adoption. When I call your name, say yay or nay. Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Vice President Del Moron?
Yay.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
President McIntosh?
Yes.
Trustee McNeil?
Yes.
Myself, Secretary Booth, yes. 6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 25.11, authorization to sign memorandum of understanding with Michigan State University Fellowship of Instructional Leaders to the regular meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it has been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
This is them training our instructors that train our teachers, right? Is that this is the instructional piece for the teachers or the principals?
The principals and teachers both participate in this professional learning. They bring their leadership teams. I know some of the board came last spring and visited the professional learning that was taking place. And so this is a continuation of that work.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Gilbert?
Chair Booth.
Yes.
So board members can come and observe
The invitation is there. I think that because the board was new, many of the board members were new, they wanted to know and experience and kind of sit in and see what was happening during those sessions. And so absolutely, if that's the desire of the board, we can let you all know the dates. There are Saturdays, and teachers stay for several hours with their leadership teams looking at their scholars' data to make determinations about how do we improve instruction and work with our scholars. So absolutely, we can make those dates available.
Thank you.
I just want to make a comment in regards to that. Chris Demerol and the Booth and I participated in that. We even sit at the table with the teachers getting the training. It was a long day, but it gave us an idea of what the teachers have to go through. It also helped you make those vital decisions when we're sitting here at the board, because before we really didn't understand what that whole program was about. And the data that was needed, we kind of turned it down a year ago, but going through that training, I apologize to them for turning it down because I didn't see the data what I thought it would be. But I just recommend that all board members go so we can get a good understanding. The fellowship was great. So I just hope that we continue to get the invitation and email to go there. It was a great day.
Any other discussion or comments? Seeing there's no further discussion, the motion to move resolution 2511 to the next regular meeting. Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Vice President Del Moron?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
President McIntosh?
Yes.
Trustee McNeil?
Yes.
Myself, Secretary Booth, yes. So 6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move resolution 25.12, membership in the Michigan High School Athletic Association, to the regular meeting tonight for adoption.
So moved.
Support.
It has been properly moved and second and supported. Any discussions? Yes.
Superintendent, through the chair to Superintendent Murphy, was this the membership that we were denied last? Okay, so I I apologize.
No, it's a good question.
But what is the association that we are not allowed to be a part of as athletes in Genesee County?
So we're currently not in like, there's Saginaw Valley, there's the Big Nine, we're not in a conference locally. And I actually, Mr. Jones and I actually spoke, he's at a superintendent's conference today, and so he's been initiating those conversations because there's a voting body of superintendents that determine if another school district is going to be allowed into this. So this is separate, so that this allows any scholar athletes that we have, if they want to be eligible for state competitions and things of that nature, this gives them that eligibility. So there is a distinction between us being in a conference, a local conference, and then this association here. So that is an excellent question. We are still unaffiliated in that regard, but that's something I know Mr. Jones is working actively to fulfill.
So given that, what can you tell the public who's here specifically about that so that they can take action? Because I find it, I don't even have words for it. The fact that we are not allowed to be athletes in our general, larger community. We've been barred, we've been excluded by basically our superintendent's peers. And we used to be top, we have top athletes who graduated. We've got alumni. We have, pride in what we do. You know that. But what can you tell the public so that they can maybe put a little bit more pressure? Because I find this abhorrent and racist to exclude us from this type of activity.
So I'll speak cautiously just because I have not been involved in all of those conversations and the dynamics of that. It is, as I mentioned, the superintendents, the participating superintendents of a particular conference have the right to vote if they want to allow another district into that conference.
So we have suburban districts who are excluding our district. So
again, I will speak cautiously because that is a space that I'm not in regularly. So I just want to speak to the process. So we have made application and not been approved in several conferences. So I know that's something we're continuing to pursue on behalf of our scholars because they deserve that opportunity.
Thank you for that. I always appreciate your caution and your temperance. We have very different personalities, and I've been very angry about this situation. So I'm maybe a little bit more forthright in my opinions on this.
We're continuing to advocate for our scholars to make sure we continue to have a seat at the table.
Okay, any other discussions?
As long as it was brought up, is there any other district in the county which is facing which we are not being allowed to join a conference?
That's not information that I currently have. I will have to look into it.
I know the beaches.
I'm not going to speak to that, but we can have conversations. I can give you information. I'm just not prepared with that right now.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other discussions? Okay, since there are no other discussions, I moved Resolution 2512 to the next regular meeting for adoption. When I call your name, please say yea or nay. Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Vice President Del Marone?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
President McIntosh?
Yes.
Okay, Trustee McNeil?
Yes.
And myself, Secretary Booz, yes. 6 yes, 0 no. Oh, is that the last one? Yes. Okay, and we mark adjournment at Thank you, Ms. Murphy, for your expertise, and adjournment at 7:08. Academic Committee.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to receive, the board will now hear public comments. We ask that you state the reason for addressing the board and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes on matters within the authority of the board and not address individuals by name. The presiding officers of the board shall have the right to limit the number of persons who may address the board on the same subject. Please state your name and your address first before you begin to speak. And at this time, we'll call you up to the mic. Bruce Jordan.
I'll defer to the end, please.
Pardon me?
I'll defer to the end.
I can't make out. Okay. We got somebody else that preferred the end, so I'll put you in front of their end. What about Karen Christian?
Good evening. My name is Karen Christian. I'm the president of the United Teachers of Flint, 5095 Exchange Drive, 48507, and I come representing the teachers and those that fall underneath our bargaining unit. I come tonight to talk about everything on the agenda, and I'm glad to see that we actually got through it. I have worked with Flint Community Schools for 30 plus years, and I'm so disheartened by the conduct of this school board. The UTF and the superintendent and his team have continuously worked hard to make people believe in the Flint Community Schools, along with all the other staff members in this district. And every time we come to a meeting, there's ridiculousness that happens. Calling each other names, committing assaults, personal political agendas, and not doing the work of the district for our students. I've sat here many times and online listening to meetings on the school board. Last week was a travesty. You all were too busy arguing with each other, trying to one-up each other, etc., that you couldn't get the business completed at all, and at the end, people walked out. I'm embarrassed and ashamed of the conduct here. We teachers would not tolerate this behavior from our students, and if we displayed this at all, we would be in deep trouble and probably lose our jobs. You don't get to be disciplined. You get to be voted out. It seems that you do not really understand Robert's Rules of Order, so I've taken care of that for you. I have gotten each one of you a Robert's Rule of Orders for Dummies book. And it's not derogatory in any way. It puts it in a way that people can understand exactly how the rules are to be followed. Point of order and point of information are never used as much as you use them in a meeting. You waste so much time with that ridiculousness. Also, just for reference, I have run many meetings in this district and for the UTF. And the chair of the meeting runs the meeting, and if you want to speak to a specific action item, you must give up your chair to someone else so that you can speak. This board is micromanaging everything that the administration is doing. 2 board meetings ago, you asked, what is the district doing to get more teachers and so elementary teachers can have their planning time? However, just before you asked that question, you voted down allowing a title switch, just a title switch, so we can have a recruiter in this district. It has just a title, no additional money is attached to it. It seems that you are the problem that's keeping teachers from coming into this district. Many of you complain and don't know what is going on in your packet. When you accepted the position, there was a paper given to you that let you know how much time was going to be needed in your position. The paper read, preparing for and attending a meeting of the whole, it was going to cost you at least 3 hours per meeting and at least 2 hours of preparation time before each meeting. And then if it was to be just in one of the subcommittees, you would need 3 hours per month and at least 1 hour preparation for each meeting. And if you're going to attend a district meeting, approximately 1 hour per week. And if you're going to read materials related to school and public education in general, 3 or more hours per week is needed. I'm absolutely appalled at the number of times you guys come to the meeting and someone says, I didn't read it. I didn't get to my emails. I didn't get a chance. If we said that to our person who was in charge, we would be disciplined for not reading our emails. You are known all over the state. I hate to tell you this, but you are. I am stopped at all of my state meetings and asked about my school board. That's embarrassing. You all have said at least one time or another you are here for the students and the staff. It's not true. You lately have been here to argue with one another and bully and harass each other and not get any work accomplished. We are going to be shopping for a new school board come November 8th. We've had enough.
Dr. V. Stewart.
My name is Dr. V. Stewart. I've worked for the district over 30 years. My husband went to school here. My kids graduated from here. And I have, up until this point, been pretty proud of the Flint schools. My address is 4015 Kimberly Woods, Flint, Michigan. And I am a school psychologist, I am a clinical psychologist, and I'm a school neuropsychologist. My concern is that with your behavior, you are driving children, teachers, and families away from Flint. It's important that you recognize how serious your job is. You represent us. When a fight breaks out at a football game, they can say, oh, we're just acting like the board. We do not want that. I am asking, it is so critical in an urban district that you represent the best of us, not the worst. Suburban districts that look at Flint will say, oh yeah, that's just Flint. Please do better. It is critical for our survival. You could be the death blow to this district if you do not act professionally. I'm going to ask that you refer to page 3, which is the Flint Board Standards of Practice. I noticed it was adopted in October 17, 2001. It was reaffirmed in 2007. I would ask that this board read it before each meeting and reaffirm it this year. People need to reset because it's not personal, it's about the community, and you're killing us. Psychologically, you're killing us. I'm embarrassed when I leave the city and the state and people say, oh, you're from Flint. And it's not the water that has hurt us as much as you are. You are really risking destruction of us. I want my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids, God willing, to come to Flint and be proud of us. I don't want people to say, oh, Flint. Maybe that's why they won't let us participate in other things because they say, you know, we can steal those athletes. We can steal those scholars. We can steal those teachers. It is important that you understand how important, critical you are to our survival. We're at the last chance, I believe, for Flint to recover. But if you do not act professionally, if you act based on personal interest, I don't know if someone else will be able to stay here and say, I worked for 30 years for the Flint schools. So please reaffirm the Flint Board Standards of Practice. Read it before each meeting. That may help people reset the true purpose of why the Flint School exists. Thank you.
Heather Madison.
Good evening. My name is Heather Nassar. I am a teacher at Doyle Ryder and I've been in the district for 24 years. I am speaking on behalf of myself, the Doyle Ryder staff, scholars, and families. This is the second year of our displacement from our building. Last year was the first year we came back from online learning, which had its own trauma. Then we get moved to a new location, a new secretary, a new principal. who, by the way, has handled everything that's been thrown at her with grace and professionalism. Mrs. Schaefer from Potter has been accommodating, and so is the staff, and patient while we've been forced to invade their space for the second year. Just to give you a glimpse of how we have been working, or should I say coping, teachers are working with limited resources since many of our materials are still at Doyle Ryder. We took what was necessary, and this year we had to go get more since we're back again. Behavior specialists or counseling scholars in the hallways, along with other support staff, without privacy. Other staff also have to share locations. Our current staff are set up in a doorway with 3 people working out of that small space. It's a challenge trying to schedule events and other activities with a whole other school. Our gym classes are held while lunch for Potter is taking place. The music teacher has to come into our classroom to teach so that teachers cannot use their planning time to do work that we would normally do, like hang up schoolwork, print things off of our printer without disturbing the class. Sometimes we just need time to take a breath and regroup ourselves for our own mental stability, which we have nowhere else to go. Then we have lunch, and our 3rd through 6th grade are eating at 1:20 without a sustainable snack in between. And now we have to squeeze in time during our teaching day, or after our teaching day, to spend cleaning up and packing up our boxes and our 20 plus years of materials at Doyle Ryder so it can get fixed. We are in a situation this school year again because we were not important enough for you, the board, to make the necessary decisions to have our school up and running. We have lost many families due to our displacement, and now parents are voicing their disgust with your unacceptable and unprofessional conduct. You are in this position to serve and make a positive impact on our community, which includes the lives of staff, families, and most of all, importantly, scholars. And sadly, you have not done so. Thank you.
Felicia Maynard.
Good evening, my name is Felicia Neymark. I am a speech language pathologist, direct hire through the district, currently working at Durant Cherry Mott. I have spent many years on boards, in committees, and as president of several organizations throughout the county and amongst different organizations throughout Genesee County. I have never seen a board or meetings run as horribly as these are. The time that it takes to get nothing done is unbelievable. I sat on a meeting online last week for 5.5 hours, and you did not get beyond item C on your agenda. You did not even get to the business items. That is a travesty. Board members walking out, infighting, arguing between people, points of order, points of information improperly used. We need to get things done. This is wasting the time of staff. It is wasting the time of our community. Those business items are hog-tying the hands of our administration and our staff in being able to get things done. We fortunately have, for the agenda tonight, a music teacher being hired for DTM. There are people who have applied for positions who have left for other places because their information and their applications had not been approved by this board, so they left. Additionally, I would like to comment on the fact that we were in a debt elimination plan and are pretty much out of it. However, that money is not being spent for the things it should be when we are having to be asked to pay the legal fees of board members. That money needs to go to our students and our staff. I hope that you will do better. I have been a student council advisor of student councils for close to 30 years. I would never allow a meeting to happen like your meetings have been happening. Please fix this.
Thank you. Linda Bell.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Linda Bell. I am the CEO and founder of American Sign Language, which is called Ring a Bell for ASL. I have submitted a proposal to the board members to offer our American Sign Language programs to your curriculum. I haven't heard anything from anybody as of today. I think it's very important that we understand inclusiveness with the deaf community and teaching our children second languages, how to use their hands, their facial expressions, their body language to express their feelings, except for yelling and screaming. And thank you. And my mother is deaf, and I grew up an only child, and I had to be a communication source for her. I worked for the state of Michigan as a sign language interpreter for 30 years. I am now teaching and tutoring American Sign Language at the Ferris wheel from 9 to 5. Okay, on Fridays and Saturdays. But I would like to bring this to our children. I do have children in my program, and their parents have joined in the tutoring session, and they love it. There's a parent right now that wants to write an American Sign Language book because of what she saw on TV, or there was a character that did not want to touch a kid, and they don't want to use those things anymore. They want to use their own books. So they want books that look like us and represent Flint, Michigan. I have another deaf-blind mother who's taking a class with her child. She's learning how to do sign language, and she's deaf-blind. And I have to do tactile sign with her. I teach Braille. I do it all. Tactile signing, the Helen Keller method. I do Braille reading and writing and teaching the kids everything. So this is very important to me because when I see the kids act out, I can show them a different way to use their sign language to express how they feel towards another person without yelling. So please adopt this proposal. I did submit it like last week. I don't know how long it takes, but I really want to introduce it to all the schools. We do have online learning. So if the COVID thing comes out, we have technology that will work with the deaf people. So when your kids, the hearing kids, are speaking to the deaf people, they know exactly what they're saying. So it doesn't cost the district anything. So we're set up through the technology. We can come in person, we can do after school. We just need to get these kids doing second languages immediately. And once they learn American Sign Language, other languages will just fall in their lap. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Bruce Jordan.
Good evening, community and board members. I sent you an email last Wednesday in the middle, or near the beginning, middle of the marathon board session that you accomplished 0. As you know, I represent the United Teachers of Flint. I work collaboratively with an awesome Superintendent Jones. An even more awesomer, it's my own word, Assistant Superintendent Murphy, HR Director Galloway, and the rest of their leadership team of the Flint Community Schools. I can honestly say in the 17 years that I have worked in and with Flint schools and these awesome teachers and staff back here, this administrative team led by the Superintendent Jones is by far the most open, collaborative, and student-driven administration team that I've had the pleasure to work with in Flint. They really do rock. I don't know if you really know the treasure you have in this administration team, and I hope they get the accolades and the respect that they deserve. I also work with 9 other Genesee County school districts. You all, as board members, should know that the board happenings these last few months have been a public travesty, a sham. The Flint Board of Education is the talk of the town. I can't explain that more. I had a colleague today, he works in Ironwood, it's on the Wisconsin border of the UP, called me up and asked me what in the heck is going on with Flint. It's a complete embarrassment. The Flint Board of Education has been and is the laughing stock. My colleagues across the state inquired with me about what's up with Flint, or it's no wonder Flint can't get any progress made. It's embarrassing, and the community is watching. Enrollment at its fundamental level is driven by the way the school district operates. How does the Flint Board of Education operate? Do they make decisions based on student need and success? Does Flint compete in a very tough job market? Does the Flint Board of Education understand globally its role and the part they play in a family's decision-making process to send their children here? I would say the questions, or the answers to these questions, is mostly no. As some of you know, most of you know, my heart will always be in Flint. I might not be a Flintstone, but I am a Northern Viking. Go Red, Big Red. All right. Yeah, Big Red. Thank you. The collaborative work we're doing, Superintendent Jones, his administrative team, the UTF, the rest of the staff, the parapros, is making a difference. I'm honored to be a small part of it. A good majority of teachers have positive comments about where they see Flint in the coming years until the last few months when they watch you, the board. Please don't mistake my comments as a knock on the administration team. It is a knock on this board. So I'm giving you a directive. I'm asking you, I'm telling you, I'm imploring you all to get back to the business. Get back to making sure that Flint Community Schools comes back to where it used to be in years past. You need to do this because this is what you were elected to do. Together, united, and collaboratively. I have one question for this group back here. If you want a change, November 8 is coming. Vote.
Good afternoon. I have this to say, it's sad that you see a lot of people complaining. Arthur Woodson is my name. When we fought GISD, we had a lot of people saying, you shouldn't be fighting, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. But they didn't know June 5th, 2013, Larry Watkins had signed over our center-based dollars and signed over and modified the Act 18 and took millions of dollars away from the Flint School District. You didn't know that on June 11, 2013, Governor Snyder took our childhood, early childhood away, something that we were fighting for. You sit back and talk about people fighting on the board and people fighting against certain elected officials, but you don't sit back and watch the people who are selling this district out and this city out. You just saw 2 individuals on this board get up and walk out because they did not want to see or hear the lawyer confront their lies. And you sit back and condemn the people who stayed. They stayed and said, let me allow you to speak, but you still screamed at them. You don't know how to divert your anger or your passion towards the individuals who are causing the havoc, which was the two that got up and walked out. You paying for a lawyer, you paying lawyer fees for an individual who went over to the judge and got an ex parte PPO on a person who was in Atlanta, myself, said that I was in the parking lot, I was the getaway driver. And I was in Lansing with my granddaughter eating breakfast that morning. The judge told her, you cannot silence a person and take away their First Amendment rights. Lies. You have an individual on this board that says that she's a doctor and she's not. Show us your doctorate degree, because the address that I looked up shows Mount Morris of vacant lot. Matter of fact, 2009, I read in Live that Bundles of Love was shut down. How can you have somebody on the board who cannot even have a daycare center open because of 36 violations from the state, and they told them that they will not have license anymore? Doctor, let's quit lying. Those recalls are coming. Don't think I forgot. It's not about new board members, because if you still got the two, it'll poison the other apples. So recall is coming. Thank you.
Thank you for all the public comments. At this time, we'll proceed to our next meeting. At this time, this meeting is now adjourned. It is 7:35. Flint Board of Education, order of business. We are in our regular board meeting, September 21st, 2022. It is 7:35. I'm sorry, ma'am. Please feel free.
My name is Rebecca Ormsby. I'm a parent to a student who goes to Freeman Elementary School. I understand the purpose of interception. I don't necessarily disagree with it. But I would like to know why we would think that parents can take off 1 week every 6 weeks to watch these kids who aren't old enough to stay home by themselves. Who can afford that kind of babysitter? I'm a single mom. I have no family to look after my son. So what am I supposed to do? I can't afford to take off 1 week every 6 weeks. My job does not give me that much vacation time. I'd like to know what it is that I'm supposed to do. He is 6 years old, and kindergartners aren't allowed to stay in the intercession program because they are too young. But they're also too young to be home by themselves. So what is it that the school would like me to do? I tried to enroll him in the after-school program, and they are full. He's been waitlisted, and he's number 30 on this wait list. If he gets in, it won't be until Thanksgiving, and that's an if. I was referred to go to the Boys and Girls Club. Maybe they can help. Boys and Girls Club doesn't take kids that are under 7, unless they have a brother or sister that is in that program. YMCA is full. All of the daycares in this area and surrounding cities are full. They are not accepting kids from Flint, and they're not accepting more kids for after school or before school programs. Is there anything that the school board has a suggestion for?
Yes, I do, ma'am. We're going to get Ms. Keon Murphy to take your information. I'm not familiar with those programs, but she said she was going to look into it and see if it's something that can be done for you.
I know I cannot be the only parent that is having this issue.
Well, I don't know, ma'am, but I'm willing to try to get you some assistance, because you're the only one I've spoken to. And Ms. Murphy is coming to get your information. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Gilbert.
On this previous meeting, you didn't have a chance to comment, to make comments to the board. And I don't see on this next meeting,
And we were going to continue on. We were just in one meeting. We were just going to flow into the second paragraph. I don't have to
so are we adding on to comments from the board on the previous?
It's on there, but it's like again, not forgetting, this is still one meeting. We're just talking about that because of the things from last But would you like to make some comments, Mr. Director, afterwards?
Well, yeah.
We will be taking comments from the board, the Russian board this time.
Thank you. I'm just going to make a comment as to some of the things I heard coming from the public. Most of it I agree with, but let me say this. We've had 4 new board members within the last year, appointed because other board members left. And many of the problems we're facing are problems that have been here for years and years and years. Central did not close down in the last 11 and a half months since I have been on board. The potholes in virtually every school parking lot did not happen in the 11 and a half months since I've been here and other board members. Those things have been here for years and years, and in Central's case, a decade plus. So this board is trying to resolve some of these issues, and you just don't go out and, take care of a parking lot overnight. There's a request for bids that have to go out. People have to be hired. I personally would have thought I would have seen more quicker. But just keep in mind, many of the problems right now that the district is facing have been long-term. I mean, we have fewer students in our district. If all the students came back, we'd still probably have to close schools. Okay, so people are having fewer children. We lost 20,000 people in Flint in the last 10 years, according to the census. I'm sure some of them had children, and they moved out of not just the district, but Flint. I should say not out of just Flint, but the district, because our district goes beyond the city limits in certain areas. So the problems that have been long, and it would be like a full new board coming in 1st of January and immediately blaming them for something. And that's not even being fair. But I agree with our meetings could run somewhat smoother. I've been a big advocate for attendance at city council meetings. I attend many of the city council meetings. People show up late, they leave early, or they don't show up at all. So there's many things going on in Flint. Some of it is background work right now, but that's what I'll say.
Are there any other board members that would like to make comments? Is there any other board members that would like to make comments? Pastor David.
Madam President, and to the board and to those in the public, I heard you loud and clear, and I don't disagree with what you said. I totally disagree with you. And I take responsibility for my actions, and I'm not proud of everything and the votes that I've taken since being on this board. But it was because I was ignorant of the truth and the facts in most cases. And so, you're right. We have a heavy burden upon us because we have children's lives in our hands. We have some of you all's lives in our hands as well as professional teachers. And so, that's that's the thing that weighed heavily upon me. I will continue to do my best, but the thing that I always say that my former pastor taught me is that the biggest room that you will ever live in your life is the room for improvement, to be better than what you were the day before. So that's what I will continue to do. It sounds like that most of you all read personally to the board as a whole. I'm sure you have opinions about each one of us, but as a whole, we are responsible to the community. We are responsible to the children and to affect their lives long after we're gone. And so the only thing that I can say is that I'm not really concerned myself about whether I'm on the board or whether I'm not. What I am concerned about is that the district remains sovereign, that the district survives, and that it thrives, and the children begin to thrive. That's the only thing that I am concerned about. Yes, I would like to remain on the board, no question about that. But I'm not going anywhere if I don't remain on the board. I'm going to do all that I can because I have a granddaughter at DTM. And I talked my daughter into bringing her outside of Flint in, and she lives outside of the city limits. She does. And she brought our granddaughter. She didn't want to do it. And there's been a few problems that she didn't like at DTM. I said, well, you got to give it a chance. I said, my understanding is some very fine professional teachers at that school. That's all that I've been told. I said, so when you put your foot where the rubber meets the road, my granddaughter is in this district. So whatever that I try to do is for her and all of the children. It's about the children. And I appreciate that you did bring that up about the children. And that what they see us do is what they will do. And so the only thing that I will say to you in the public and to my colleagues is I will do my best to continue to fight for the kids, to get through our meetings. But really the bottom line is that's all that I can do. I'm only one vote, one voice. And we got a lot of things that we got to improve on about ourselves. We got to look inward, not outward, inward. And measure yourself by what you do, not what others do, because you can't control anybody but yourself. And so I appreciate it. I thank you for having the boldness to come here and say what's on your mind. I listened very intently. And what I heard, it came from the heart. I didn't hear them call Gilbert Del Maroney. They said the board. They said it several times. And so that means that we, as the board, and I will repeat it one more time, it doesn't matter who's on this board, this district and the citizens of Flint deserve the best for the best. The best scholars, for the best teachers, for the best school, for the best principals, for the best children, that their lives and their families will have the best life. Because I'm thankful and grateful to God that He blessed me to work for General Motors 33 years. So I'm not in it to get rich. So I want that to be made very clear. I'm here because I love this city. I've been here 48 years. And yes, you're right. We got a lot on our table, but we must do better. We've heard from the public, so the question remains, what are we going to do about it? That's the question. What are we going to do about it? It's on us. So let's see what we do about it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, teachers and community. I am Dr. Joel Sellers Michael. I earned my PhD to Bethlehem minister. So did about 20 or 30 pastors in this district did. But it's not that PhD in theology and ministry that got me here. Underneath the theology is an MPA from Central Michigan University. The problem that this community has is that we want to live in other people's past, and we want to talk about other people's past, hurt other people about their past, but we don't talk about your own past. But that is not what my comment is about. I worked in the school system. Most of your teachers know me. I was a guest teacher, door rider. Everywhere I went, I served. I worked with the teachers on March and Sweat. And I decided to start doing that and come sit at this board. I just spoke with the UTL Kristen. I called and asked her questions about the decision that I'm going to make. And I started trying to build that rapport with her because I believe that when I want to make a decision, I learned that I get a lot of information talking to the union. In regards to Dora Ryder, I understand. Linda Booz and I don't know, other board members, we went to sit with the parents and watch that struggle that's over there. I don't believe all the way up when I became, I didn't ask for president. It was handed down to me. So I did the best I could. We did a lot of things that was good. But when we break policy and we're fighting over policy, we're fighting over things that was not right as a policy. If we govern ourselves according to policy and the law, I can sit and listen to anybody. But we can't have favoritism, and that creates problems. That's why we have a governance committee. I would like to see that things that are related to the board be in governance. That's where we have our differences and we can discuss. I would never waste a teacher time or hold anything back from a teacher. We made some big mistakes when we first became, the two of us came on this board with no direction. None of us have. That's why we sit in the middle of a lawsuit because of policy violation. I'm now at level 3, understanding policy. I want to thank you for this Robert Rules of Order. It is a good book. It helped guide me. It gives us the right decision. And when we look at a person that's breaking policy, whether they're your friends or not, let them address it. It takes away the anger. No public person can come in and just constantly badger another man's wife, their family, their children, just constantly. We all have sinned and fall short of glory. We all got issues. We all have them. That is not what that's for. If you can come in and talk to us like the teacher did, you did a great job. You didn't dog us out. You didn't talk about our family. You didn't call us out our name. You came in and shared some very important stuff. We spend too much time of board business on school board agenda. Board business goes in governance. I stand to you today. That's why I got out to walk out. That was, in my opinion, that was governance. So I apologize for that. I got other issues going on. I might have to leave a little early because everything coming up next should pass because we have agreed to it on time. So if I leave early, that's no disrespect on you. I am a human being. I have a husband that I'm trying to control because he's tired of a man just constantly beating up on his wife. I'm trying to save my husband from doing something illegal because we have a person that's constantly beating up on women. It got to stop. But I appreciate you, and your comment makes me think about it. Let me take these Robert Rules of Order and let's move forward.
I don't know if members Ms. Booz or Ms. McIntyre.
Thank you for everyone who came out. I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate it. It's nice to have a good attendance. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm listening very carefully and taking what you said and thinking about it. I want to thank the UTF for the book. I always love another book. And just the record, I don't have a doctorate. I'm a PhD dropout, so I'm a candidate of philosophy for 20 or 30 years, I don't know. I do want to say, though, that all of my decisions are based on my love for Flint and for the district, and that I'm acting in good faith, and I'm just trying to do what I can to move the district forward. I'm working very hard. I'm on the 3 of the bargaining teams for the unions, and it is because I'm very committed to making sure that all 3 teams get fair representation, and we bring the district back up to where it needs to be and stop these pay raises or pay freezes and things like that. So there's a lot that's happening behind the scenes that you don't see, you know, and there's a lot of things that are being said that just simply aren't true. So I'm a public sociologist, I'm a public activist, my number's out there, anyone's free to call me, several of you have, and that's where I'm at. I'm just going to keep doing the work, and again, I want to thank you for coming out and caring so much about the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bowles, do you care to say anything? I would like to say that in terms of the time that we spend here meeting, that was an issue with me sitting here and listening to our board members go back and forth at each other. But moving forward, I believe that we have settled that last night, and we have agreed to start the meeting on time, as we always do, get through the agenda items, the speakers, the comments of the public, and make sure we try to end the meeting at 9 o'clock, because we respect your time. And, you know, me personally, I don't have time to waste sitting here, you know, in the middle of chaos. I just started on this board March the 23rd. It was chaos the week after I was sworn in. And so I'm basically, I have no problem following policy and Robert Rules of Order. And I thank Ms. Felicia, I don't have the whole name, for giving me this book. I'm going to use this. Yes. I have been in training since March, Michigan Association of School Board training, and it's intense training on weekends, Thursday through Sunday, all day. And I do plan on being the best board member I can for as long as I can, as long as the public will have me. And I will make sure I do it with dignity and respect for everyone, even my board members, and they know I work with them fairly and honestly, and I am a fair person, although a public figure stated that I'm not fair. But that person, I don't think that person is fair. So, because that person don't know me, and I think we shared that conversation before, years ago. And, you know, I'm not intimidated by comments, because I will go to the individual and have a discussion, but I'm not going to argue with anybody, and I know who I am. And 3 of the board members, 2 of the board members here, we work on other boards. I also serve on Motherly Intercession as a vice president. So I know how I know how a school board should function. This is a little different. You know, looking from the outside, we do a lot of background work, and I do visit other schools. I do a lot outside of the board meeting. So I go to football games. I didn't go to the one last Friday, thank God, but I go. I do support the scholars, I support the teachers, the principals, and administration. Whenever they call me, I answer my phone, and I do return their calls back the same day. So I would like to thank you for listening. Thanks for the audience who were here. those who remain here, and we will get on with our business.
Thank you. I'd just like to say I'm always receptive to what the public says. It is a lot that goes on that you don't get to see. And my passion comes from wanting to see the scholars get the opportunities that they deserve, because we have the means and the talent to provide some top-notch service. And we have to step it up and stay focused. We have to be about the kids. And that's where my heart always is. No matter how I feel about somebody personally, I'm always willing to do the work and do what's best for the students. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here for personal vendettas, to make friends, to fall out or whatever. I came here to support the scholars and to find out what is going on with our system. And I've dedicated my time to that. I will continue to dedicate my time to that, and I like to listen to the employees in the district, because without them supporting our students, the hands-on teachers and our heroes, without that first line contact to our students, then we don't have a district. So I like, thank you. So I like to keep my, that's where I keep my focus at, with the kids and trying to move the teachers forward. I'm also on the negotiating team, and I'm also a union member. So I totally understand what it is to want to be represented. And I also want to, as a union member, sitting on the other side of the seat, work across the aisles, because I know what I like for myself and what I want to see for our district. So that's what I work for, that's what I stand for. And if I am wrong, I stand corrected. If I do something I shouldn't do, I have no problem with apologizing and making adjustments, because I am a public servant, and this is public service, and I have to do better if the public is not pleased. So I'm holding myself accountable to hold myself responsible for my own actions in spite of other people. And I am a work in progress, but I am willing to put the work in. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you for coming, and at this time we'd like to move forward with the rest of our meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Moore. At this time, I'd like to call to order. At this time, I would like to call to order the Flint Board of Education's regular board meeting. The time is now 8:01. Board members, as a part of your name, please reply by saying present for the record. Mr. Chris Delaroni?
Present.
Pastor Gilbert? Dr. Joyce?
Present.
Ms. Booth?
Present.
Ms. McIntyre?
Present.
And myself, Carol McIntosh, we are all present. At this time, I'd like to read our mission statement, because we need to read our mission statement and try to make that readjustment that we were advised to make, and I think this is a good place to start. So we will read our mission statement. In order to provide outstanding leadership and better serve the Flint Community Schools, we, the members of the Flint Board of Education, commit to the following standards of practice. We will be consistent in our dealings with each other, as well as students, staff, and community.
Number two, we will model trustworthiness and honesty in our relationship with each other, with our superintendent, and with our constituents.
We will focus on common goals of providing the best education possible for the students in the Flint Community Schools.
We will respect diverse views that each of us brings to the organization, as well as the view of others that we interact with as we carry out the business of the Board of Education.
Number 5.
We will be open and authentic with each other, our staff and the community.
As we work to make decisions, we will focus on issues, not personalities.
and our decisions will be student-centered and based on objective facts.
We will practice good listening skills to better understand our fellow Board of Education members and constituents.
Thank you. At this time, I am seeking a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the August 1st, 2022 special board meeting and the August 10th, 2022 board committee of a whole meeting and the August 17th, 2022 regular board meeting.
Yes, so moved.
And second, someone will second? Okay. You so moved?
Yes.
And you second, okay. It has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any corrections that anybody sees that they want to address? Okay. Seeing none, the motion to approve the minutes from August 1st, 2022 special board meeting, August 10th, 2022 board committee of the whole meeting, and August 17th, 2022 regular board meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. And as I call your name, signify by saying yes or no to approve the motion. Joyce McNeil?
Yes.
Alan Gilbert?
Yes.
Chris Del Moroni?
Yes.
Linda Booz?
Yes.
Laura McIntyre?
Yes.
And myself, Carol McIntosh, and it passes 6 yes, and no opposed. New business action items and information requests from the Human Resources Action item. I will now call upon Ms. Murphy to present action items to the board.
Again, board. I seek a motion.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Public speaking on the agenda.
It's at the end.
Supposed to have the agenda and that.
It's, yeah, we said we don't have that. You did one, we in the second meeting. You want to do 3? Yeah, it's at the end. You did one already. Alright. Okay, it has been properly moved and seconded.
I didn't make a motion.
You did, okay.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 1.9 personnel recommendations.
So moved. So moved. Support.
It has been moved and properly supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is none, the motion to approve resolution number 1.9 personnel recommendations will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes to accept or no. Please say yes or no to approve this action item. Trustee McNeil?
Yes.
Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Chris Del Moroni?
Yes.
Linda Booz?
Yes.
Laura McIntyre?
Yes.
And myself, Carol McIntosh. The motion passes 6, none opposed. Ms. Murphy?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.11, authorization to approve agreement with GCJ Construction.
So moved.
Support. Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution 11.11, authorization to approve agreements with GCJ Construction LLC will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Gilbert?
Yes.
Del Moroni?
Yes.
McNeil?
Yes.
Booz?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
And it is a yes from myself, and the motion passes 6 yes, none opposed. Please continue, Ms. Murphy.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.12, approval to open new account with my lab.
So moved.
Support.
Is there any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution 11.12, approval to open a new account with MyLab, and we have some, will be conducted by a roll call vote. And as I call your name, please say yes or no to approve the motion. But I do want to say this before we vote on this. We will have board members in discussion with the administration to make sure how this money will be transferred and the tightness and the legalities and before we make a move, right, Ms. Wood? Board members, as I call your name, please signify by saying yes or no to approve this motion. Danielle?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Del Maroney?
Yes.
Booz?
Yes.
McIntyre?
No.
And myself, Carol McIntyre, yes, the motion passes. 5 yes, 1 no with board oversight. I seek a motion in a second from the board. Go ahead, Ms. Murphy.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.13, authorization to purchase new curriculum.
Support.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is no further discussion, Ms. Murphy, do you have discussion?
I want to say something. I heard you say with board oversight, so we're gonna, as a board,
Yes, we're gonna sit down and look at what they're doing and make sure we know where it's going and make sure we know what the percentage is, whatever details Ms. Tish had, we're gonna give Ms. Tish and her team. And we're gonna solidify it, even when we leave as board members or whatever, whoever left, we're gonna know where the money is at, what account it went into, who moved it, who shouldn't be moving it. We're gonna have all the details, even though we won't, yes, none of this happens without details. And that's what
answer funds and everything.
I didn't hear that.
That's not on the agenda, but
Okay.
that's the funds.
Okay, yeah, because I requested from Ms. Tish, when you guys have stepped out, I requested for her to give us all the fund balances to our accounts, and I am going to share that with the entire board. Yes. Okay, we took a vote, and we said 5 yes, 1 opposed. So the motion passes. Please continue, Ms. Murphy. Oh, we didn't vote on it? I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Resolution. Oh, I skipped one. I'm sorry. I seek a motion in a second from the board to approve resolution 11.13. I'll be back on. Okay, so we just had discussion and we're in the middle of voting, and we did vote, and the motion did pass. Right? Is that all right? And now I'm doing this. And you read this part, Marty, I'm sorry. It has been properly moved to second. Is there any discussion for item resolution 11.13, authorization to purchase new curriculum? Pastor Gilford.
Madam President, just by way of a point of order, try to do the motion second. Is there any discussion? No further discussion. Take the vote. Once you take the vote, you can't keep it.
Right, that's true, Pastor Gilbert.
We just kind of.
You're right. Thank you, Pastor Gilbert, for that. There's been no further discussion. Motion to approve resolution 11.13, authorization to purchase new curriculum will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Maria.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Del Maroney.
Yes.
Booz.
Yes.
McIntyre.
Yes.
And it's a yes for myself, and the motion passes 6 yes with none opposed. Ms. Murphy, continue.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 11.14, authorization to approve agreement with Santec Architecture.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution 11.14, authorization to approve agreement with Santec Architecture Incorporated will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. McNeil.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes. Del Maroney.
Yes.
Booz.
Yes.
McIntyre.
Yes.
And myself, yes. McIntosh, it passes. 6 yes and none opposed. Finance and operations. In your pocket are the information. In your packet. Oh, this is not okay because it's saying recommendation.
In your packet are the information reports. They are item number 12.9, the check register for August 31st, 2022. The balance sheet, items 12.10 for August 31st, 2022. And item 12.11, budget versus actual for August 31st, 2022. Also, our monthly item 12.12, the Treasurer EDAP monthly report for August 31st, 2022. Are there any board members that have any questions?
Are we trying to move these all together? All four of this?
These are information items.
Okay.
So do you have that? Are you clear, Mr. Demorose?
Yeah, I don't know where the informational items are coming from. Your sheet.
No, they're in your packet.
Oh, all right.
Do any other board members have any questions?
No.
Please continue, Ms. Murphy.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 25.8, recognition of Constitution Day and Hispanic Heritage Month.
So moved. Support.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Following discussion, seeing no further discussion, the motion to approve Resolution 25.8, recognition of Constitution Day and Hispanic Heritage Month, will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Emil?
Yes.
Gilbert? I'm sorry, Gilbert is absent at this point. Del Maroney?
Yes.
Booz?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. The motion passes 5. Mr. Gilbert is stepped away from the table, so we're marking him as a no, but the motion still passes. Ms. Murphy?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 25.9, authorization to purchase approved items from the consolidated application.
So moved. Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing there is no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution number 25.9, authorization to purchase approved items from the consolidation application will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Emil?
Yes.
Gilbert is out.
No, he's
I'm back in. Okay, he's back. Okay, Pastor Gilbert?
Point of information, Madam President.
Your resolution 25.9 is the authorization to purchase approved items from the consolidation application.
Yes.
Okay, Del Maroney?
Yes.
Booz?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
And it is a yes for myself, and the motion passes 6 yes, none opposed.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
On that previous vote, I believe we just took what it did. 12.9. Pastor Gilbert was outside the room, and I thought I heard you record his vote as a no.
If he's not here, it's only 5 is what comes. He can be absent, it's the same as the no on 5 votes to the leader.
Okay, I would
I
follow.
will correct that though, Pastor Gilbert was absent at the time, he had stepped out of the room.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Is there, is that sufficient?
Yes, that's fine, thank you.
And where are we at, like 25?
Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, great.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 25.10, authorization to purchase approved items from the ASN REACH grant.
So moved.
Support. Support.
Support. Did he, wait a minute, let me see where I'm at. Yeah, it's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing there's no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution number 25.10, authorization to purchase approved items from the ASN REACH grant will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Neal?
Yes.
Gilbert?
Yes.
Del Maroney?
Yes.
Booz?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
And it is a yes from myself, McIntosh, and the motion passes 6 yes and none opposed. Ms. Murphy, continue, please.
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 25.11, authorization to sign memorandum of understanding with Michigan State University for the Fellowship of Instructional Leaders.
Support. So moved.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? She said support issue. Did she say so moved?
So moved.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is support? Okay, so it's been moved by Ms. McIntyre and supported by Neil. Properly, it has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution 25.11, authorization to sign a memorandum of understanding with Michigan State University Fellowship of Instructional Leaders will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Emile.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Del Morano.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
McIntyre.
Yes.
And it is a yes for myself, McIntosh, and the motion passes 6 yes and none opposed. Ms. Murphy?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 25.12, membership in the Michigan High School Athletic Association for the 22-23 school year.
So moved.
Support.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing there is no further discussion, the motion to approve resolution 25.12, membership in the Michigan High School Athletic Association, MHSAA 2022 to 2023 will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Neil.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Del Morano.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
McIntyre.
Yes.
And it is a yes for myself, Ms. McIntosh. Before we adjourn, we'll give, you want to say something? I'm sorry.
I'm taking a recess for 5 minutes.
Okay, so moved is supported, she's made a motion, so it's been moved and properly supported to take a 5-minute recess. We will take a roll call vote to go into recess. When I call your name, yes to go or no, not to. Pastor Gilbert?
Yes.
Del Morano?
Yes.
Lord, Ms. McIntyre?
Yes.
Booth?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
And it's a no for me, because I'm ready to go home. Motion passes. It's a 5-minute recess.
Carol, come here. Let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. This is what I was telling you. I'm gonna enlarge it up. See, this is a brand new meeting, right? Regular meeting. All right, so here we go.
No, there's one meeting.
No. The first one was media law.
Supposed to.
Right, that's one whole meeting.
Right, I know it's supposed to be two, but we made it one.
No,
We can't do that?
No.
Okay, we'll do that.
So no. Y'all took a roll call. Y'all made it 2 meetings. Y'all made it 2 meetings. But
Show it to me.
I'm getting ready to show it to you. No, I'm getting ready to show you something. Regular board meeting. There it is. So it's a regular board meeting. There it is. See what it say? Regular board meeting. Regular board meeting. Then it says hearing individuals, and then written communication regarding items on the agenda, right? And then you got the next one. After everything is done, then you have additional.
You make that one, though. Not big.
No,
Okay, it's wrong.
y'all got to give me 6 minutes.
Okay.
I'm supposed to have 3 minutes.
Give me,
I'm supposed to have 3
6
minutes.
minutes, so I ain't got to be soon.
No. Hey, look. No, hey, I'm good.
Okay.
No, man. I mean, I was just saying.
It's crazy. Don't be like that.
Oh, no, man. Don't get like that. No. say that meeting last night, because this states that everything has to be moved to the full vote. Oh, I'm getting ready to come right now. Put it out there. Yeah, I'm wrong. Well, I'm gonna go after
Y'all thought you was really, you said, no, like, it's that out. I thought you said you was going to be a pack.
Who? I was gonna do what?
Turn to the Lord.
Who said that? Man, you can go somewhere with that, man. I don't know who told you that lie.
All right, can we adjourn? Can we adjourn? Can we please reconvene? We're 6 minutes in. We're 6 minutes in. We had a 5-minute recess, so I'm asking. If y'all do me so wrong, y'all so mean. Y'all ain't gotta treat me like that all the time. Okay, at this time, okay, board, let's reconvene. Before we adjourn, we will give the public an opportunity to address the board. If you wish to speak, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address first before speaking. You will have 3 minutes to speak. And we really want to cut it down to 2, but I know I have to jump on her. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? Thank you, ma'am.
1610 East Court Street. I am a teacher at Durant-Mott. I am an alumnus, and I'm also a resident of the city of Flint. I kind of withheld myself because I wanted to hear how the rest of this meeting was going to go. You've heard me speak before, and I just want to say that I think the behavior of this board as a whole is abhorrent. I find it incredibly embarrassing. I have many peers in the field of education who are constantly asking me, why do you stay? I stay because this is my community. I love this community. I am embarrassed every day by the action of this board. I'm happy that we're moving forward with an agenda and doing things the way we should. One of the things that I find a little bit embarrassing is the fact that in the 6th grade at Garfield Elementary, Ed DeBevick and Maureen Hearn taught us Robert's Rules of Order so that we could travel around the country and debate and have meetings and have these sorts of experiences. And as 6th graders, we were able to do something that this board is incapable of doing at this juncture. It's an embarrassment. The fact that we are sitting here having people talk about sports without any knowledge of how that whole thing works. You want to know what other kind of school in this area is not a part of a conference? Powers Catholic High School. For part of the same reason, the population of our high schools is so low that if you don't have a population to pull enough kids from to have full teams, you are putting their safety in jeopardy. There have been 6 schools in the state of Michigan who have canceled the varsity football season because they have said the safety of their players, they don't have enough people coming out, they will get hurt. Our student athletes will get hurt. It's not safe. You have to have a pool of people. One of my colleagues and I, we were both in high school, we went to Flint Central, Indians for Life. However, at that time, you're talking about over 1,000 students in 4 high schools. That's a lot of kids who can be athletes, who can form teams, who can be safe. We don't have that currently. It's about safety. It is not about racism. It's about safety. And kids want to win. They want to be on a winning team. And when we don't have facilities, Houston is an embarrassment. When we don't have facilities, when we don't have what other schools have, they want to go where they're going to win, where they're going to be recognized by recruiters, where they're going to have opportunity. If we don't get down to the business and take care of this for our scholars, what are you doing here? This nonsense has to stop. I know what I'm doing at the voting booth, but between now and January, you need to get it together and do what's best for these kids and stop the nonsense. Thank you.
Mr. Woodson?
Arthur Woodson, I hate when I hate when I hear when someone say it's not about racism. Everything she said is true, but there's racism in that also. Because when they shut down those 11 schools on the north side back in 2013, 8 of those schools were on the north side. 11 schools were shut down, 8 was on the north side, and we lost 10,000 kids. That was a whole lot of money that left. So that was racism. And the water crisis was racism. So I just, it hurts me to hear when somebody says it's not racism. Racism plays a serious role here in Genesee County. Matter of fact, Genesee County is the 3rd racist county in this country. When I come up here to speak, I'm not badgering you. I am holding you accountable. You are an elected official. It's sad. I went to see The Woman King this past weekend. Beautiful. Excellent movie. You have to go see it. And you know, I said to myself, you know what? I look at this movie and I look at what's going on right now, and I see a lot of women in position that men used to be in. Because the men isn't out here doing the job is protecting us, providing. We're not doing the job, man. We're not. And it's sad that a woman or women had to protect a king when the men sitting up there just sitting back chilling. We as men have to step out here and really do the job. But ladies, remember one thing, that you are in position, and it's not personal. It's not personal. You are an elected official. And I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to respect you and say the same things to you as I would say to a man in that position. I can't give you any leeway that I wouldn't say things to you that I wouldn't say to a man. I got to hold you accountable. It's equal. It's fair. I got to hold you accountable just like I would that man, that individual. So when you start going, I'm a woman and you badger women, no, I'm not. I'm just holding you accountable as an elected official. Just like, okay, you say that you got your doctorate degree from Oral Roberts. Now tonight you say that you got it from Bethlehem. Those are inconsistencies. And I'm going to hold you to that. That is inconsistent. So where did you get your doctorate degree from? And that's holding you accountable. That's not badgering. The way that y'all dog walked Danielle Green, Dr. Danielle Green, the way that y'all dog walked her with lies, you should be the last person to talk about badgering. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other comments from the public?
Claire McClendon. I hope that this board listened to the voices of the public tonight. They sounded like they're asking for the board to use the quorum to get things done in behalf of the students and so on and so forth. The woman from ASL, ASL, American Sign Language, brought a beautiful program. Is our board in a position to embrace that and bring it to our young people? So, if you heard what the people said tonight, I think you're going to do something about it. Unfortunately, some of y'all will not be back in January. But you can still participate in helping Flint Community Schools. And you know what? We don't need recalls. We need to reclaim our public school system. That's what we need. Flint is famous for recall. Every time we go, somebody does some recall. How about recalling us being the number 3 district in the country for charter school? Recall that. Recall that. Recall wages and benefits that we have a history and a reputation for paying union wages and benefits to our employees who deserve what they're working for, they're not making. Recall that. Recondition, refurbish, regenerate some of the schools and open them back up. Recall that. Get some of our children that's gone out county and the charter schools and everywhere else. Reclaim that. Let's recall that. So let's not use our focus. Keep your eye on the prize and fight for public school system. Personal beefs and gripes and stuff that's still lingering and carrying over. This is exactly what the teachers came in up here and said, we're sick of it. And if you ask anybody out here on the street, they say, and we don't care why. They said, y'all sound like That is not a compliment. Thank you.
The board, does any other members have any comments before we adjourn?
I just want to say real quick, I went to the Genesee County Association of School Board Members, and they brought up a couple of things. They talked about a video on the ghost, was the title. I'm not sure what it's all about, but they mentioned it real quick. As far as legislative stuff, they said if you're going to introduce or present to a legislator or to a committee that will, they said to narrow your list, prioritize, and make it actionable. Don't turn in a laundry list of 30 things and expect that the legislators are going to look at 30 things from every member or whatever. They have some holiday meetings, or not meetings, but a dinner coming up at Zender's. I think it's for everyone, but I don't know, but I'll find out and then report back on that. I think that was about it.
Thank you, Mr.
In relation to ASL coming before us, to Kiana, I believe that we do have her proposal, and they are working on it. Board member president and the board doing that community partnership agreement. I believe that May came forth, you guys met with them and working with him. And these are, am I correct? MABE.
He did not attend the meeting. We had 2 meetings and he didn't attend the one that I was scheduled to be in, so.
Oh, okay, I believe he said he met with that skill trade program. The guy, I don't know what was here, Kevin, that did the drums. He tried, I think he said he submitted a proposal, and these are people from the community. So kind of keep us updated where we at with that. But I did remember us talking about ASL and got a lot of support for the young lady speaking on ASL and doing the after school program. And I believe the guy that does the drums, Kevin Collins, yeah, he's been trying to get in and out. Is getting in and doing some of their community work as well. So maybe we can just kind of keep them up where we at with it.
Thank you. Is there any other comments from the board? Pastor Gilbert?
Thank you, Madam President. Thank the public for coming. I heard you loud and clear. My ears are wide open, and I won't forget. The other thing is that we need to get to moving on these things that are before us, irregardless to what January 1st you may hold. We still owe it to the district and to the students and the scholars to look out for their welfare and for their good. So if we can do that and do that well and do it together, we will have done what we were supposed to do.
Are there any other comments from board members?
Just real quick, will we be meeting on Monday to appoint a new board member?
We're going to let Ms. Kim send the details to that out because I'm not exactly sure when we put that out here. So I don't know exactly where we are at this point.
Madam President,
So Ms. Kim says.
I would appreciate it if you all would talk into the mic, because I can't.
So today was the last day for applications, Mr. Joe Maloney. So they'll have to move forward from there because they couldn't do anything else prior to the closeout day. So I'm sure Ms. Pam will get to move on that. Is there any other board members that have comments? Seeing there's no further comments, the board, Ms. Booth?
Board President, I would like to know when are we going to bring the building bids back? You know, when we're going to just have a discussion about that. We're supposed to meet about that.
Okay.
So we need to get that done as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Calvin is taking some leadership training classes up in Traverse City. So as soon as he gets back, I'll speak with him about getting that scheduled and all set up.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other board comments from any other board members? Seeing there is no further comments from board members, the Board of Education will hold its next board committee of a whole meeting on Wednesday, October 12, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. here at Accelerated Learning Academy. Seeing there is no further business of the board, I declare the regular board meeting adjourned and the time is 8:43. Thank you. Good night.